When you sit down to your favorite meal, chances are you're not thinking about where your food comes from. Who grows it? How many people have played a role in getting it to your plate? Where do the leftovers go? And how many more people will be part of that process? As a global community, we produce plenty of food, but we're not necessarily meeting demands. And increasingly, we're confronted with whether the way we grow food is undermining the future of food. We've never had so much, and yet hunger continues to be a problem faced by millions. Juxtapose that with the fact that here in the US, we throw out approximately 40% of all food we produce. This is the life cycle of food. Someone grows it, harvests it, and transports it. Consumers take what they will, and the rest is up for grabs, whether filling landfills or inspiring an innovative business. The real question is, where are the inefficiencies that could be the undoing of our agriculture system, or the next great opportunity for public-private partnership? Who better to tell this story than the people who are getting their hands dirty every single day?
Major metropolitan areas are really moving away from the conventional markets and are looking for the animals that are raised humanely from a family farm and from a farm that wants to be sustainable and cares about the environment. The consumer is becoming much more aware of how animals are being treated.
Consumer preferences are changing. Consumers want healthy products. They want to know where their food comes from. They want to see these large companies authentically pursue a healthy and environmentally sound and affordable food system.
A certain consumer today has an interest in organic practices and a product raised organically. It's a relatively smaller section, but it's growing, and it would grow if it was a little more affordable.
One of the trends that I've seen on the production side is companies really looking more holistically and deeply at their sustainability and impact measures, thinking about the solutions more innovatively. And with that demand, there are increasingly companies that are coming up to provide those services and innovations to address that segment of the market.
Organic techniques produce minimal soil, air, and water pollution and preserve productivity for future harvests. So why doesn't everybody farm organically? While growing organically and raising animals humanely is increasingly popular amongst consumers and producers, it does require a new way of farming.
When you're farming organically, there's going to be things that you do to the soil very, very different than you would do conventionally. You don't use pesticides, herbicides, you don't use antibiotics. What you're trying to do is create a healthy environment for healthy animals.
In 2002, we actually started an initiative to remove or get rid of all the antibiotics in our chicken raising programs. Organic meat is some of the best quality meat we have in the company. Some of the organic practices results in a better piece of meat.
We were really frustrated with the quality of food we were getting from the supermarket. More importantly, how the animals were raised. We've all seen shows about the mistreatment of animals, in particular livestock. We decided that, we wanted to raise livestock and, more importantly, raise them as they should be raised, with integrity and pride.
This is the only way I would ever want to farm. Our animals here live the best life on the best farm.
Organic techniques require producers to think differently about their process and products, install new systems, and in many cases learn new skills. And this can be really good for the land, the animals, and of course for the consumer. But it's not only up to producers. We as consumers have a big role to play to find the right balance for now and for our future. The daunting thing about the world's food-related crisis is that it's going to affect all of us. Maybe not all in the same way, but we all have to eat. That means every single person has the power to be part of the solution to food-related challenges. To encourage sustainable production practices, it's critical that consumers, yes, that means all of us, push companies and lawmakers to make it a priority. We can do this in our everyday purchases, by buying food grown in our communities that's organic and seasonal, that uses fewer chemicals, and that's grown by individuals who are paid a fair wage. Local farmers markets are a great place to look. And I know what you're thinking, making smarter food decisions does not have to cost more. A plant-based diet is easier on the environment and your wallet.
Consumers have the power to change the food system. Every day we go out and we purchase food. Those purchases drive what this food system looks like. If you want a different food system, make different purchases. You know, the average food product travels thousands of miles. If you want a more sustainable food system, try to look in your backyard. Look around you. Look for the farms that are there. The distances will be shorter, the food will be fresher, and it'll probably be more nutritious than something that's 2 weeks old from across the country. Rather than going directly to the retail store, you can go to what's called a community-supported agriculture subscription, where it pools product from a number of farmers and delivers it close to your neighborhood where you can go pick it up.
Every purchase that you're making at a farmer's market where the farmers are coming from the local surrounding area, that's money that's being reinvested into the local economy.
For the big changes we need, everyone needs a seat at the table. Partnerships are going to be critical.
As far as partnerships, USDA stepped in right when I was starting organic. It standardized a lot more what we can and can't do, which makes it a little more fair for everyone and gives the consumer a little more consistency in their product. In organic farming, the role of partnerships are really important. Don't try to go it alone. Find other farmers who've done it before, learn from them.
The food system is complex and it's large, and it's going to take all of us to create solutions. And so these public-private partnerships that we're involved in are extremely important. We partner with the USDA, which has an interest in seeing farmers being successful as well as consumers being healthy. We partner with for-profit companies that are on the cutting edge of using sustainable production practices and are looking to invest in a new way of doing food systems.
Companies, entrepreneurs are really taking up the mantle and making those shifts above and beyond what their government requires. There's a lot more opportunity for the private sector and government to work in partnership. I've seen where through the groundswell and the commitment of the private sector, the government also comes along and enacts regulation to then support what the private companies have already moved to.
To realize our goals, collaboration is critical. You need the power of policymakers, the speed and resources of the private sector, and the interest and energy of consumers to come together to develop and implement real solutions. Partnerships can bring critical attention and resources to an issue, transforming a challenge into an opportunity.
Everyone from consumers to producers are conscious about environmental effects of the agriculture industry. And there's been a tremendous rise with increases of technologically advanced solutions to the agriculture industry, whether you're talking about waste, whether you're talking about precision ag, or whether you're talking about reducing chemicals in certain supply chains, because they're now seeing that these types of investments or these types of technologically solutions are actually economical.
Our challenges are largely avoidable. Informed consumer choice and partnerships between public, private, and nonprofit entities can create a closed-loop system where there is no waste, that adapts to a growing need and secures a long-term future. For these solutions to work, everyone needs to engage at each point in the supply chain, from the farmer, to you the consumer, to the waste collector, and back again.